Action Sports presents from Lighted Field in Garden City, Cougar Softball. Tonight, the Garden City Cougars take on the Livonia Churchill Chargers. It's Friday Night Lights. Hi, everybody. This is Dan York along with Ted Fournier and Willie Sandman as we get ready to bring you Cougar Softball from Lighted Field as the Garden City Cougars get ready to take on Churchill. This is a fundraiser tonight for the Relay for Life program and for the breast cancer charities. And this game played under the lights tonight. You'll notice they have pink foul lines for this game, and both teams are donning pink as a part of their uniform. But we'll start off with you, Willie Sandman. This Garden City team comes in very, very hot. They've won 17 in a row.
They won 17 in a row. They come in 18-1 overall, and they look like they're having a fantastic season.
And they have played in only one tournament so far this year, Garden City in the Western Wayne Athletic Conference, which does not afford them a lot of competition when it comes to softball. So in order for them to be ready for tournament time, they're going to want to participate in several tournaments throughout the season, and they'll do just that. And Ted Fournier, Garden City's coach, Barry Sandman, one of the premier softball coaches in the state of Michigan.
Barry Patterson. Not that Barry Sandman wasn't a good softball coach either. But 25 years ago or 26 years ago, they hired Barry Patterson to be the head coach over here, and he has done nothing but produce excellent teams year in and year out. Been to Battle Creek a few times, won the big enchilada back in 2008, where Garden City became the state champions. And the big accomplishment for this Hall of Fame coach is he won his 600th victory. And figure that out, ladies and gentlemen. If you coach 20 years, that's 30 victories a year, you know. So.
And he has had some outstanding seasons. Barry Patterson took over for Jim Lennick, who was the head coach here at Garden City. Jim Lennick was the head coach when Garden City went to their first Final Four. Willie, we were there for that.
Oh, yes, we were. That was an exciting game. We lost 2-1 to East Point.
And that was kind of the beginning of this program, but Barry was an assistant on that team and very critical in that program that Jim Lennick started.
One of the things that Barry takes pride in, he tells you he can name every player on every team, tell you what year they played, and not only has he had outstanding teams, but many, many, many outstanding young ladies have come through the program, and they're in Hall of Fames all across the state, and they've played all over in the colleges, and he's had a wonderful program, and the ladies have benefited.
There you see the Churchill Chargers, who are coached by Steve Gentilia, who is a graduate of Garden City High School. Kevin McHugh, his assistant, a graduate of Garden City West High School. And that's one of the reasons that they are participating in this Friday Night Lights tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the visiting Churchill Chargers, who come into this one with a 10-7 record. Leading off for the Chargers and playing a center field will be number 2, Rachel Jason. Batting a second and playing right field, number 3, Jackie Tolles. Hitting third and catching, number 4, Cassie Bias. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 14, Nicole Salome. Batting a fifth and playing third base, number 11, Katie Sharita. Batting sixth and pitching, this was a last-minute change for Churchill and Steve Gentilia. Missy Sidor will be the starting pitcher tonight for Churchill. She's a senior. Batting seventh and playing first base will be Julia Cavanini. Hitting eighth, the designated player, which means she hits but will not be in the field at the beginning of the game, is Julia Twig. And Klemkowitz, number 10, will be at second base for Churchill. Again, last-minute changes for Churchill as Abby Jewell was hit on the foot in a game just a couple of days ago. Steve Gentilia wanted to see if she could go here tonight. She could not, so she was a last-minute scratch for Churchill coming in here tonight. And gentlemen, Churchill comes from that gigantic Kensington Lakes League, and so they definitely see some very good competition just within their conference.
The KLAA is probably fast becoming the #1 sports league in the state as the migration from Detroit heads out 96. More and more schools are opening, South Lyons, Milford, and you got the Walled Lakes, and it's fast becoming just a giant sports league.
One of the reasons the mega conference broke up was the constant flip-flopping of what division you were in for what sport, which was very helpful when it came to getting the best competition, but it wasn't helpful when it came to bus costs and managing. The Kensington Lakes Athletic Association does not do that. They are, Churchill is in the Kensington side, and I believe they're in the South Division of the Kensington side. So they play the same schools in every sport all the time. But one of the things they do is when they cross over, this is kind of bizarre, there's the Kensington Conference and the Lakes Conference, and then within both of those conferences there are two divisions. When you cross over and play the other division in your conference, it counts towards your division record. So Steve Gentilia not really thrilled about that because it's not a real true measure, but that's how they do it on the other side of town.
That seems like a fair way to do it, though.
Well, it's tough, though, because they're not really in your division.
They're not in your division. You play a crossover game, it usually doesn't count. But this way it counts.
Well, it certainly does.
And that helps your record out, whether it's
well,
yay or nay.
Whether it helps you out or not, but it's what they do.
Yep.
As you see the Cougars introduced, coached by Barry Patterson. Let's take a look at how they'll line up defensively for Barry Patterson. Behind the plate for Garden City will be freshman Abby Joseph. At first base will be Cassie Ford. At second base will be Caitlin McIntosh. At third base will be Ashley Lynn. Hillary Werda, number 15 at third base. In the outfield from left to right, it'll be Rachel Bomarito, Sam Bellavari, and Tiffany Brown, who will not be in the batting order for Garden City, at least at the beginning of the game. Again, that's part of that flex position that they have. You'll see that not only do they have the ability to re-enter the game, unlike the major leagues at this level, they also have courtesy runners for the pitcher and for the catcher, and some other modifications of the rules for softball at this level. As Garden City takes the field, both teams decked out in all black. Garden City in all black with white sleeves and white socks, and Churchill in all black but with pink sleeves and pink socks. So that'll be the only way we can tell them apart here tonight.
Well, Churchill's shirt's a little different than Garden City's.
Well, that's what we're going to have to count on you to be able to tell that, Willie. Yep. I'll tell you that right now. There you see Kelsey Sasala on the mound for Garden City. She is just a rock star this season. She has a 10-1 record. She has an ERA of a 0.85. She has 5 shutouts, and she has 63 strikeouts on the season, and she owns several records for Garden City in pitching, and those are career records as well as season records. So she is all that and a bag of chips for Garden City.
When she creates records, it's after a long succession of great pitchers here for Garden City.
Absolutely.
Haley Minch, who's now starring over at Madonna, set a whole bunch of them, and then Sasala's older sister came right after that and set another bunch of them. So a great career.
Kelsey came into the season, not including that those stats I gave you, with a 41-11 mark, 288 strikeouts, which is 4th on the all-time list. And then 17-2 last year with a 2.92 ERA, 90 strikeouts. She was the team MVP, all district, all region, all area, all state. And we're ready to go. 72 degrees at game time here at Garden City High School.
Nice pitch.
And Rachel Jason will bat for the Churchill Chargers. Glad you've joined us here. Friday Night Lights, Omnidition Sports, as that one was down low. The Cougars and the Chargers. They've moved the mound back 3 feet over the last couple of years, so it's now 43 feet from home plate.
That's good, because they did it in college because it would hopefully get more hits.
Well, and also it was dangerously close as the hitting began to improve. There's a strike called at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rachel Jason. Jackie Tolles on deck, the right fielder. Jason, a senior. Popped up in the infield. The second baseman comes in for Garden City. Has a little trouble with the wind and the sun, but McIntosh hauls it in, and there's 1 up and 1 away. Oh. It is very windy here to start this game.
She ran underneath that and had to reach back behind her to catch that, and the wind did take it on her.
You know, we are having trouble keeping our papers on the desk as we look into the setting sun here at Lighted Field, which may not need any lights tonight. Jackie Toll's the batter now.
We've got somebody interfering out in the outfield, so there's time out here.
And it's not our cameraman? Well, that's good. That's a plus. Toll's a left-hander.
I think it's the only left-hander on the roster.
And she fakes a bunt, strike one.
One of the great weapons at girls softball is that slap bunt where they run at the ball and try to slap it past a drawn-in infielder.
So Werda close at third, wearing that face mask. And there's strike two called as Tolles didn't really look interested in offering there, but it's strike two. The outfielders playing on the infield dirt. This infield is set up for men's softball right now. And that one is a ball high.
That's got to be hard for the umpire to call that, because sometimes by the time the ball reaches the catcher, the batter's 2 or 3 steps down the line.
So ball and 2 strikes on Tolles. Here's a slap into the outfield, and the center fielder for Garden City, Balavari, puts it away.
That's a very good center fielder there, Sam Balavari, a starter since her freshman year. She's a senior, and she is going to be all conference and an all area and a lot of all things before the year's out.
And was last year also, and she's going to Siena Heights. Yeah, Belavari was an all-state honorable mention last year, as well as all-region and all-district. There's a changeup from Sasala that's high on Cassie Bias.
Had a chance to talk to Barry Patterson before the game, and I asked what kind of pitches Sasala threw, and he threw about 14 words at me. And each word had a pitch behind it. No, Sasala throws 6 different pitches.
She's the Hugh Darvish of girls softball?
That's right. She throws a rise, a changeup, a fastball, a drop, a curve, and I'm missing one of them.
Screwball.
There's a swing and a miss on the fastball from Sasala, old number 1 right there.
The pitches are being called from the dugout, relayed to the catcher, who's a freshman. So Barry is calling the pitches from the dugout, and Abby Joseph is relaying.
It wouldn't matter if she was a senior. That's still going to happen. Here's the pitch. This one is popped up into the infield, and Werda is there to put it away for Garden City. And the side is retired. So nothing across for Churchill. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The Cougars come to bat, no score. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the home team, the Garden City Cougars, coached by Barry Patterson. Leading off for Garden City will be that pitcher, Kelsey Sasala, number 9. She's a senior. Batting second and playing shortstop will be number 3, Ashley Lynn. Batting third and playing third base, Hillary Werda. Batting fourth, another senior, center fielder, Sam Belavari. The first 4 batters in Garden City's lineup are seniors. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 2, Rachel Bomarito. Batting sixth and catching that freshman, Abby Joseph. Hitting seventh, the first baseman, senior Cassie Ford. Batting seventh, check that, batting eighth and playing the designated player is Gabby Quintana. And batting ninth and playing second base is Caitlin McIntosh. And Tiffany Brown is the designated player. And she is out in, or she's not the designated player rather, but she's out in right field. And that is the player, the designated player is batting 4.
Sasala comes in with a record batting average is 700. Unbelievable.
Well, let me tell you how good this young lady is going to be playing in Ann Arbor next year. And she got signed not because she's an outstanding pitcher, which we've already documented, because this young lady can hit Big Ten pitching. And you're going to see her on ESPN late at night watching those college softball games, and she's going to be a batter over there at Michigan.
Checking the defense quickly for the Chargers. Sider will be the pitcher. Bias behind the plate. Jewel at, and that's a mistake actually. There's a correction on that. Let me dig this out of the windstorm here. Cavanini now is at first base for Churchill. And we'll get back to that defense. Steve Gentilia came to us with a change. As you see, that one into the outfield, and that one is headed all the way to the warning track of the men's field. Here comes Sasala around third. Sasala's coming to the plate. The relay will not be in time. And Kelsey Sasala with her 5th home run of the season without the aid of a fence.
And you want to talk about why she's a 700 hitter? Man, did she crush that thing.
I'm busy trying to update my defensive stats, and all of a sudden I see the ball flying into right field.
Well, there goes your theory about the leadoff hitter taking a couple pitchers and making the pitcher work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So that'll bring up Ashley Lynn.
Ashley Lynn comes in with a 500 batting average.
Just a mere 500.
Boy, it really drops off after that first hitter, doesn't it?
And Lynn looks at a knee-high strike.
Well, Sasala just flew around the bases, too. You can see great speed on that young lady.
There's one up high.
This is another young lady that's playing shortstop. Walked on the diamond as a freshman and claimed the shortstop position and hasn't left.
There's a strike called, off-speed pitch.
And you're talking about the number of games these ladies played 2 years ago. They wound up going to the semifinals. Last year they made it all the way to the quarters.
And Lindsay off the pitcher's glove into the outfield for a base hit. So 2 batters and 2 hits for Garden City early on.
Lynn's at first base, and you're going to see a lot of work now here. Barry's an aggressive coach. You don't win 600 games waiting for 3-run home runs.
He's not Earl Weaver?
Yeah, he doesn't smoke either.
So that'll bring up Hillary Werda. Again, another star on this team. Here's a ground ball to second base. Second baseman does flip it to shortstop in time. Klemkowitz got it over to Solom. And there's one away of fielder's choice.
Well, just to let you know, Werder was coming in batting .548.
That's a slight improvement.
Slight.
This will bring up the cleanup hitter Bellavari, the center fielder.
She's only batting a paltry .667.
And she swings and misses on that fastball.
This is one
from
of the,
Sider.
This young lady once again went in the outfield as a freshman, and she's been there for 4 years. Just an outstanding veteran team with high expectations this year.
10 seniors, as Ted mentioned. And a strike call on that last pitch. So 0-2 on Bellavari. She looks at one up high.
There's your changeup. Gives the same windup and the ball comes in. I think, Willie, you've taught that pitch to a few young ladies.
Yes, I have.
And our motion is critical on that because you want to disguise it. There's one down low.
As long as you keep your arm speed the same as your fastball, your eyes, you're all right.
Might be a victory just to walk one of these top 4 batters.
True.
Here's one into the outfield. The center fielder is there, and getting her way back to first is Werda. So Bellavari tagged it. But the outfielders for Churchill playing deep. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up Rachel Bomarito.
Rachel Bomarito comes in with a batting average up. We have long down now, .353.
And you know, those first 3 hitters, their career batting averages, not including this season, Sasala with a .521 career batting average, Lynn with a .498 career batting average, and Werder with a .463 career batting average. The top 15 hitters season-wise, about 7 of those are on this current team. And there's a strike called on Bomarito.
Another left-hander, which is left-handers have a distinct advantage in this game as they're 2 steps closer to first base.
Absolutely.
Especially with that slap. Here's the pitch from Sider. This one is fouled at home plate.
Kicked off the back foot.
Nice to see that Barry's signs are still the same for when I coached. Sider, the right-hander. His First time I looked up, I recognized the first one I saw. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Bomarito. And the side is retired. So after giving up the leadoff home run to Sasala, Sider settles down, gives up a hit to Ashley Lynn, but pitches her way out of it. So in the inning, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Churchill errors. And 1 runner left on base. We go to the 2nd inning. Our score, Garden City 1, Churchill nothing. We'll be back with more Cougar softball from Lighted Field right after you watch this. This is Omnidition TV and GCTV.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Top of the 2nd inning here at Garden City High School. Dan York along with Willie Sandman and Ted Fournier. Cougars lead at 1-0, and there's the changeup. They called for a strike from Sasala.
Churchill's looking for their first runner. This cleanup hitter here is batting .343.
This is Nicole Salam. I'm not sure how to say it. They told me and I forgot.
Salam, I would say.
It's whatever you say it is, Dan.
Yeah, except now with YouTube and the internet, everybody sees this. Ground ball back to the pitcher. And there's 1 up and 1 away. And that'll bring up Katie Sharita.
If you watch Garden City softball, you'll notice the pitcher, the first baseman, and the third baseman are all wearing face masks. This is not mandatory. Barry Patterson wants his players to be safe out there. A few years back, I want to say about 5 years ago, he had a pitcher wind up with a broken nose. And since that time, he's played it safe. And those 3 people are all wearing face masks.
There you see Sharita, the third baseman, who swings late on that one.
That was a very weak swing. She wasn't sure where that ball was.
Part of the problem is going to be, too, the sun angle. There's a big swing and a miss because the sun is going to affect the batter's vision at some point.
Might not now, it's up a little bit, but by as evening wears on, it's definitely going to bother me.
A traditional baseball field has home in the southwest corner, but because of the layout here, as you see the swing and the miss by Sider, it is in the southeast corner. So the sun gets into the first baseman's eyes, the batter's eyes, and the announcers.
Yeah, they would, and it would be a disadvantage to the defensive team if you had it, as you said, because the sun would be
normally
in
it's
their
in the
eyes.
right fielder's eyes, and everybody figures nobody likes the right fielder anyway. So.
That's true.
Nobody liked K-Line. There's one down low.
Well, I want to squash the rumor that the upcoming improvements to this field does not include moving the football field and swapping it with this corner. I didn't see that in the paper, but I wanted to squash that rumor right away.
You want to squash it or you want to start it?
Basically both.
Yeah, that's up high from Sasala. Because Ted has never stirred up anything ever.
That's why I moved to South Lyon.
And there's the first hit of the ball game. So Sider with a base hit. And that'll bring up Cavanini.
Nice stroke by that young lady.
I think she got a slightly off-speed pitch from
Sider's a pitcher. It's a 243 hitter coming into the game, so.
That brings up Cavanini. And she rips one pretty good into the gap. Between the outfielders, this is probably going to score Sider. Sider around third. She's headed home. Cavanini heads into third. She slides in safe. And Churchill's on the board. A triple for Cavanini.
And I don't want to say the first base coach is excited, but
a little bit.
He's agog with enthusiasm.
Well, last year, Garden City played Churchill in a game and they lost 6-3.
That is correct. That'll bring up Julia Twig now, who is the designated player. And again, she's essentially the designated hitter at this moment for Jordan Lindsay as she fouls that one away. But unlike in Major League Baseball, this is a more fluid arrangement. There's our shot from Chris Carrico, high above lighted field.
Up in the trees.
Literally. There's a swing and a miss. I want to thank Jason Merrow and Christian Gibbons. This is the first time we've rolled out our new TV truck, and the computer which runs it decided it was a good time to take a vacation. So we've spent the last 2 days rebuilding this truck with an old switcher so we could bring this game to you. Here's a pop-up down the first base line, and a good job by Cassie Ford to collect the third out of the inning. So for Churchill, they get a run. 1 run on a couple of hits. There were no Garden City errors and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the second, tied at 1. But yeah, I want to thank them because they were out here and back at City Hall helping us rewire this truck and get it going and getting it ready for this game, because it looked for a moment like we might not be able to do it. But we were able to do it. As you see the concession stand here where they're keeping a little wrestling scoreboard to indicate the the score in the inning.
Just that last out, I want to touch on that. So Sally got the batter to pop out to the first baseman with a runner at third, and that's a huge out. It's a lot of things. You got a freshman catcher, a little slap bunt through the infield scores that run, and that's a big out here in the second inning.
For your Garden City Cougars.
So leading off for Garden City will be that freshman Abby Joseph. Scheduled to bat this inning, Joseph Ford and Quintana for the Cougars.
She comes in with a 409 batting average.
Not too shabby, and she is a freshman.
This young lady,
she's got 4 home runs too.
Yeah, it's got some pop. The paper reported 5, and I was teasing her yesterday, and she told me to say it was only 4. She's a very humble young lady.
She takes one inside. And also my thanks to Rob Rancor, Jared Seguin, Chris Carrico, Ryan Bykowitz also working this broadcast today. All volunteers here on Omnidition Sports. We thank them for being here. Gorgeous day. There's one down low.
Good eye, good eye. A lot of discipline already in 2 pitches. You can see a very disciplined batter.
You've heard the stats. This team can hit. Barry Patterson has had some successful teams that didn't hit anywhere near as well as this team.
Oh, no. He had successful teams because of the pitching.
And defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they would win a lot of 2-1, 3-0 games. This team pounds the ball. There's a changeup ripped into the outfield. The right fielder, let's see. She trapped that or not?
She caught it. She caught it right.
Al Russell's telling her to stay on the base. The umpires are conferring. The infield umpire talking to the home plate umpire. He's not giving a definitive call here. And she's out.
That was a good catch.
So I'm guessing the infield umpire missed that one, and Shaw, the home plate umpire, had to make the call. So that'll bring up Cassie Ford, a senior first baseman for Garden City.
Anything past the bag at first is the umpire's call. Then it's a nice bunt.
And Ford hustles down the line. Throw to first is in time. Good execution by Churchill.
Ford came into at that batting 345.
So Gabby Quintana now, the sophomore, will come up.
And she's only batting 455.
Well, we mentioned these girls. Gabby last year batted 434, which is in the top 15, and that was as a freshman. McIntosh on deck for Garden City. Strike called on Quintana.
I think you saw at the last at bat with Cassie Ford laying down that bunt that Barry has already realized that runs are going to be at a premium tonight. and they're going to play each inning. They're going to play to try to get that one run.
Sider has settled into quite a groove for Churchill.
Sider's a pretty tall pitcher for girls softball in this area, and she has a long stride, and she really brings it.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Nice play, throws it high, but the first baseman, Cavanini, comes down in time. Salam rushed the throw a little bit, but they make the play and the side is retired. So nothing across for Garden City. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the third. Our score 1-1. It'll be Klemkowitz, Jason, and Tolles, the batters for Churchill. 9-1-2 for the Chargers in this inning.
This is a very, very important game to Garden City, not for their league, but the nature of the league that Garden City plays in is not the highest quality of softball. A lot of the schools are more basketball schools for young ladies than they are softball schools. Churchill plays in a very competitive league, so Barry has this game scheduled mainly so the girls can find out exactly where they stand in a statewide situation, because as you play in the districts and regionals and the competition goes bigger and better, you don't want to play your toughest game as you get to the quarters. You already want to see some competition. So this is a measuring stick tonight for the Lady Cougars.
And they'll be at the University of Michigan Invitational on May 18th and 19th, which will be another good test for this Cougar team at 18-1 so far. This is Klemkowitz, the second baseman, and she swings and misses.
Well, that has another dual purpose, because Barry hopes to be playing in the quarterfinals over there. That's a very nice, compact, cozy.
What a facility.
It's really nice. It's
what
really
a facility.
nice.
You can't see it from the street. It's packed in some empty space they found left over from the football program.
Yeah, it's a strike called.
It's right behind center field of the
boys baseball, yeah. And the first time we went out there to scout it, we ended up on one of the practice fields by accident in our car because we thought we were on a road, but no, that was a golf cart path. So,
The Adventures of Omni Edition. The book will be out at the end of the year.
Former Michigan head coach, who is now out west, was none too pleased with us. Here's the pitch from Sasala. Ground ball. Shortstop up quick. In time. One up and one away.
Well, she's sure the shortstop's sort of shorthanded the ball. Didn't come all the way through with the throw.
The center fielder,
maybe that's a natural motion.
Jason.
Well,
she's shorthanded.
She'll be shorthanding the ball next year for Northwood.
That'll bring up Rachel Jason, the center fielder. She's 0 for 1, but she may have found a hole between shortstop and center field. And Rachel Jason with her first hit of the day.
Right fielder, number 3.
Jason, a 260 hitter. And they've had a couple seeing eye hits here that just hit them where they're not.
Well, number one, Garden City's playing a little bit deeper than they should, I think.
Well, they were playing closer earlier.
Yeah.
And now Barry's pulling the left fielder in as Tolles shows bunt.
Because all those balls that have been hit have hit in front of the fielder. So it should indicate you should move them in a little bit until they hit them over your head, then you move them back.
Here's a pitch to Tolles. She shows bunt again, but that's a call to ball.
Everybody moving on the play. First and third coming in for the bunt, second covering the bag. So everybody's on the move on this play.
They call it the wheel play. And that was bunted foul, so Tolles now in a 1-2 hole.
Tolles, the last time she was up to bat, slapped it, but slapped it to center field.
Did she?
Garden City's coaches, Al Russell and Chuck Druitt, Barry Patterson's assistant coaches, all crammed into the dugout entrance with Barry. All, whoo, nice pitch.
Oh, I don't know how they could call that one.
He thought about it. He thought about it. If you see his right hand went up just a little and he held it back. He thought about that.
Runner on first base is Jason. There's one away. There's a slap bunt to the shortstop. She lets it roll up her arm, and everybody's going to be safe. I think Lynn took her eye off the ball, trying to decide whether or not to make the play at second.
If you talked to Barry before the game, he told you that one of the big determination of tonight's contest would be defense. And he stresses defense. He works on defense day in and day out. And so far, Churchill has played flawless. And there's been a couple of miscues by the Cougars.
So that'll bring up Bias. She popped up to the third baseman her first time up. So the runner on first base is Tolles. The runner on second base is Jason. We're tied at 1 here in the top of the third. Sasala.
This might be a good time for a double steal.
Let's see how aggressive Steve is.
Yeah.
Now, reminder, the players cannot leave the bag until the ball has left the pitcher's hand.
Right.
So there's a slight disadvantage in stealing in that area. This one is popped up into the infield. Lynn on a track for it. The second baseman calls her off. The second baseman, McIntosh, as the wind carried it right to her, makes the play.
That was not an infield fly rule?
Well, you're right. It sure was, wasn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know if the rule is.
They got an infield fly rule.
I just know that, you know, over the last couple of weeks, I haven't really been reading my softball rule book as I should be, and I apologize.
You are absolutely right, Mr. Fournier. So that'll bring up Salome, the shortstop.
I like that. That's a great line.
You are right, Mr. Fournier.
You're absolutely right, Mr.
You don't hear that at home ever, do you?
Rarely.
Runner at second base is Jason. The runner at first base is Tolles, and that one is a strike on the outside corner.
Got the high strike. That came right across the letters, and usually that's not a strike. Got a good call on that.
Sasala from the rock pitches. Fouled off. Right through our lift behind home plate.
This would be another clutch performance with runners at first and second and only one out. If she can get out of this inning, there's 2 outs right now and 2 strikes.
Sasala. Here's a fly ball to the outfield. Bellavari has a beat on it. She makes the play. That's kind of dangerous, that lip between the grass and the infield. That's a dangerous place to play. But once again, Sasala pitches herself out of a jam. So for Churchill, they leave a couple of runners on. They had a hit, but no runs. And it's still 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the third inning.
More importantly, the Cougars gave Churchill 4 outs that inning. And anytime you give the other team 4 outs, you hope to escape, and the Cougars did.
Yep.
See a nice crowd on hand for this one. Again, they are having raffles tonight and auctions and things for sale to benefit the Relay for Life that's coming up here in Garden City pretty quick, and a good turnout on both the Churchill side and the Garden City side for this night game at Garden City High School.
The night game that won't be a night game because the sun won't go down.
Sun probably won't go down. They probably may never turn the lights on. You're right. Kevin Kramus, they pulled out the big guns. Kevin Kramus is here to PA announce tonight. Did you see the lights high above lighted field that have yet to be turned on? And I don't think they'll get turned on anytime soon, like you said, Willie.
Yep.
On just a perfect, just a gorgeous day. We have had a run of bad luck trying to televise high school softball over the last 5 years.
Yep.
This is by far the best day that we've had to do it.
It is warm.
It's beautiful. Caitlin McIntosh will bat now. For Garden City, this is her first time up. She's the sophomore second baseman for the Cougars.
And she's only batting .452.
Only .452. Fly ball to right field. And there to put it away is Tolles. There's one up and one away. So a pretty deep fly ball for McIntosh, but she's the first out of the inning.
Bottom half of these, the last 4 or 5 batters have not been able to get around on the pitcher.
The outfielders head for the hills as Sasala comes up now.
Well,
right fielder playing probably medium depth for a men's game.
If she could just put one down the third base
Oh, there's
line.
a huge gap. between Jordan Lindsay and the left field foul line. Missy Sider rocks and pitches. And there's a strike called. That might have been below her knees. Those are pretty high knees. That may have been a tough call for Sasala. Here's the pitch. That one definitely a strike. She hitched on that one. So 0-2 on Sasala. Well, I guess if you hit 500, you still make half the outs, right?
Yeah.
Sider 0-2 on Sasala. Comes to the plate. Ooh, Sasala looks at one outside.
I mean, when you're batting 700,
do you get the benefit of the doubt? 700 with 5 home runs?
Yep. No.
29 RBI. Well, she has one
home.
today, so
Yeah,
that's her
5
fifth
home
one.
runs. 5 home
29
runs.
RBIs.
Yep.
Both teams decked out in their black. Churchill with black with pink lettering and pink socks. Garden City black and white. Here's the pitch. Sasala pops it up. I don't know if the catcher's got a play on this. Bias comes back and it's out of play. Very close to playable.
I think she could have stuck her hand in there and might have took a shot at it.
We got to plug up that doorway a little more with more players.
You see him scrambling to get out of the way, didn't you?
Here's the 0-2 pitch, or 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss by Sasala, so a big strikeout for Sider.
That was up around her chin when she swung at that.
So that'll bring up Lynn, who singled her first. No, check that. She.
You might wonder if she pressed that at bat, figuring that she had to do something, and she did swing at a high strike.
Yeah, Lynn did single her last time up. She was out at second on a fielder's choice from Hillary Werda. 1-1 our score. Bottom 3, here's the pitch. There's a strike knee high on Lynn. And that's where Sider has been living right there, knee high.
Yep, Sider is in a groove right now. She's very fluid, very easy motion, not hesitating.
And Lynn turns away from that one.
When I coach softball, we try to teach the pitchers to keep it around knee level all the time.
Well, it's always been the theory. It's much harder to hit a ball, but in the majors, that's not the rule anymore. As you see, a line shot down the left field line. Lynn turns the bag at first, gets past the left fielder. Lynn comes around second, and she'll check in with a double. So 2 hits for Ashley Lynn. She has a 2-out double for Garden City.
That was a nice piece of hitting.
Well, one of the things, Willie, you're talking about keeping the ball low, but left-handers like to swing at low ball pitches, so
True.
That's right in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's Brendan Bosch, right?
Well, Brendan Bosch will swing at it with the balls in the park.
But he actually gets hits with the low pitches.
So does Avila. Or Avila, however you want to say
depending
it.
on if it's dad or him.
Yeah.
Werda at bat now for Garden City. She hit into a fielder's choice her first time up. So a runner on second base is Lynn, 2 away. Werda trying to give Garden City the lead, and she rips one into the outfield for a base hit. Lynn turns a bag at third, she'll score. And Garden City takes a 2-1 lead. An RBI single for Hillary Werda.
Big hit, big hit.
The center fielder, number 20.
Nice line shot.
I wonder, and I have no way of looking it up because I don't have access to the records. I wonder if any game they have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 out. You know?
Yeah, it's unlikely with those numbers.
I don't think so, not with those numbers.
So the runner at first is Werda, Bellavari the batter.
She's 667 coming into the game.
And she backs away from an inside pitch.
This is one really small package of dynamite. She is I don't think she's over 5'2", but she is just an aggressive number 4 cleanup hitter.
And she swings at an eye-high pitch and hits it to center field. Jason backs up, makes the play, and the side is retired. But not before Garden City picks up a big run on the single from Hillary Werda that scored Ashley Lynn. So Garden City picks up a run in the inning on 2 hits And there's one runner left on base. We go to the fourth. The Cougars lead it 2-1. You're watching Cougars softball. This is Omni Edition Sports. You're watching GCTV.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
We're back, Ted. Top of the fourth. 2-1. Oh, the fun we have in between innings. 2-1 as Sharita rips that one foul.
You know, this is going to be a real test for Garden City right at this point. Make sure that Churchill doesn't score.
Well, that was a big run last inning. It was a 2-out rally.
Yep.
2 outs, and they just got the 700 hitter Sazala to strike out, and they thought they could get out of that inning without any damage, and they had a 2-out rally.
Yeah, Sider had really started to get into a groove. A couple of big hits for Garden City. Sharita, Sider, and Cavanini, the batters this inning. That is off the glove of the pitcher, second baseman. Not in time. McIntosh had a little trouble getting out of her glove. Sasala slowed it down.
Okay.
So a base hit for Sharita.
The Chargers aren't going to go away. They're a scrappy team. They play in a tough league, and they're not going to back down tonight.
So that'll bring up Sider. She singled and scored on the triple by Cavanini.
Second base seems to play a little deep to me.
That one is bunted. It's foul ball. Well, she is quite deep.
Abby Joseph jumped out on that from her position as catcher to get that one. One thing, you know, when you have a freshman catcher, they're still learning that position, so it's not saying a weakness, but it might be a spot where
a learning curve, sure.
Yeah.
And this infield is very choppy. They dragged it. There was a JV game before this one. They did drag it, but this slag is what it's called. The reason it's put in is because it's cheap to maintain. As that stays, no, it goes foul. It's put in because it's cheap to maintain and consistent, but it gets a little choppy around home plate.
A little choppy. Heck, they dig a trench down there where you can't see. You get in the batter's box and your knees are even with the ground. I hated this field when we played on it.
And in this case, with Sider laying down the bunts, they're spinning in the ruts.
Yep.
And a swing and a miss.
And she foul tipped it in the glove.
Took a little bit off that one, just enough.
She foul tipped it in the glove.
Second baseman, number 1.
So Sharita stays at first base with 1 out, and Cavanini now will be the batter.
Joseph's doing a good job back there, Abby is.
Cavanini with a triple and an RBI. In the second, looks at a ball outside.
One thing about Abby, she is a competitor. She made varsity as a basketball player this year and had a wonderful season as a freshman. And she is just one competitive young lady.
Here's the pitch from Sasala. Ground ball to the first baseman. Ford will step on the bag for the second out, and Sharita will advance to second base. Good decision by Ford to get the out at first. So that'll bring up Twig, the designated player.
Number 5, Julia Twig.
She hit one to the first baseman her first time. Top of the fourth inning here at Lighted Field. Cougar softball Friday Night Lights as the Cougars take on Churchill. Cougars 18-1 coming into this game. hoping for big things in the state tournament again this year.
Yeah, they got the tools. It depends on what they get hot or cold.
This
at
many
that time.
seniors, you really want to go far.
Yep.
They're really dedicated this year. Last year in that quarterfinal, they were up by a couple runs with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and Southgate came back and shocked them. And ever since the last out of that game, they've been working hard to get back.
That one is popped foul, and Jared Siegman, our cameraman at first base, almost snagged it.
Yeah, he sure did.
Just protect the camera, that's all that matters.
You have instructed him that the order of priority is camera and then your life, right?
Right. There's another pop-up between the 2 cameras.
That one almost made it to the concession stand.
Yeah, we've had hundreds of volunteers, but we've only had about 20 cameras in 30 years. So.
Yeah.
He didn't even flinch on that one.
Nope. Sharita, the runner at second base.
Big strikeouts, what you need right here.
Yeah, you got it, babe. You got it. You called it, Teddy. You called it.
And the lotto numbers tonight are.
And Sasala has been very successful with their off-speed stuff here tonight.
Yep.
So a single for Churchill, but that's it. No runs on a hit. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Garden City still holding on to that 2-1 lead. So the Cougars scratched out a run in the 3rd inning. They'll look to add to that here in the 4th as they lead Churchill by a score of 2-1. This non-conference game, as you take a look at Coach Barry Patterson, the head coach of Garden City. He has been the head coach here since 1987. Won Garden City's only state championship in 2008. He's been to 4 Final Fours. He has 6 regional championships, 14 district championships, 13 league titles, and he won his 600th game within the last couple of days. His record, 603 and 234, easily the most successful coach in the history of Garden City High School.
Definitely.
And he has worked at it. This is a guy who works at everything he does. He was the girls basketball coach until this year. This was his last year as girls basketball coach, but this is somebody who does not cheat any program that he's involved with. And there's a big swing and a miss from Bomarito at a high pitch from Sider.
What really amazes me about Barry is I've had the opportunity to coach with him for about 14 years in the basketball program, is that how humble he is. As we go around, people always ask him about his softball team. And I think down deep, he really wants to be asked about his basketball team. But everybody knows him for what a great softball coach he is.
And what an amazing job he did this year with that group of girls.
Won the league championship.
Bomarito fouls that one away, protects the plate with 2 strikes. I mean, he went into this season with not great expectations and had an amazing season. Joseph and Ford will follow Bomarito, the left fielder. Cougars lead it 2-1. Here's a pitch from Sider. Here's a ground ball in between the third baseman and the shortstop. Salome across the infield in time.
Boy, that girl's got an arm. Man, that she got an arm.
So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Joseph.
The catcher, number 7, Abby Joseph.
Started. We need another run. Each inning here, just don't have to get greedy. Just chip away, chip away.
Joseph with a fly ball to right, back in the 2nd. Here's the pitch from Sider. There's one ripped into left field. Let's see if it stays fair. Foul ball.
Oh, yeah.
What a rope from Joseph.
What she did there, she got out in front of that one and really pulled it, which most of the Cougars have not been able to pull Sider.
Bomarito kept swinging at them high pitches up around her helmet.
And Joseph with a ground ball the other way. Second baseman handles it. Easy flip from Klemkowitz to Cavanini. And there's 2 away.
She got on top of that ball and just drove it right in front of the plate, and it meekly rolled to the second baseman.
So that'll bring up Cassie Ford, the first baseman.
Another one of those four-year starters.
And she looks at a ball.
That was, I mean, a lot of girls have been swinging at that high pitch, and if you just lay off it like 2 inches, be fine.
Well, easier said than done, too, and the
That's
ball
true.
leaves the hand in the strike zone, and that's why they call it a rise, as she swings and fouls that one away. And again, it's 43 feet now, not 40, but that's still not a lot of time to make a decision.
That's true.
That gives you the ball a lot more chance to rise, too.
Yep. Sider comes to the plate, takes one on the outside corner, and a swing and a miss from Ford. Nice positioning by Sider on that one. Good ball placement.
Swung over that one.
Sider rocks and pitches, and a swing and a miss by Cassie Ford, and she strikes out. And the Cougars with nothing across, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the fifth. Garden City leads it by a score of 2-1. We'll have more softball for you in just a moment. It's the Cougars and the Chargers. You're watching OmniEdition Sports. This is GCTV.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep Metro Detroit students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Yes, ready. Go get it.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Garden City leads it, top of the fifth inning here at Garden City High School lighted field. It's Friday Night Lights. Benefit game to benefit the Relay for Life, as the Cougars of Garden City take on the Chargers of Livonia. Livonia Churchill, Klemkowicz, Jason, and Tolles, the 9, 1, and 2 batters. For Churchill's, that one is fouled off right at home plate. They're gunning for Chris Carrico behind home plate.
Oh, he dove. He was as slow on that stand as he can go.
Kelsey Sasala on the mound for Garden City. This one's popped up and foul. 3 strikeouts so far for Sasala.
What you got to admire about Sasala, she's been in trouble almost every inning. She's had runners in scoring position, and she's allowed 1 run, but she has pitched out of a couple jams here with some big 2-out pitches.
Here's the rock and the pitch from Sasala. Rise pitch high and outside.
Hey, Lexi, I got a drink for you. It's April's. No, it's not empty, I swear. Trust me.
The rock and the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Klemkowicz way late on that one. Sasala just gassed her.
She smoked that one.
She just gassed her.
Like to have a speed gun on that lady's fastball, see what it'd be like. There's something to think about, yeah.
You know,
a gun?
Yeah, get a gun for the softball game. Yeah, have somebody sit behind.
Can't we just get a cop to sit on the hill?
Yeah. No.
With a radar gun?
No,
have them call it to us?
They don't have enough people to do that.
There's a line shot right to the first baseman. She'll tag the runner as she comes down the line. I'm not sure that Ford didn't get it in the air anyways.
No, it bounced.
All right.
It bounced.
So there's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Tolles.
Well, I'm not sure those Garden City radar guns are accurate anyway. Every time they get me, I know they're 5, 6, 10 miles off.
We could do them in a minute.
Yeah. There's a slap bunt. Shortstop across the infield, in time! Bang, bang play. Ashley Lynn gets it across the infield in time, and the side is retired. So, only the second 1-2-3 inning for Sasala, and Garden City holds on to that 2-1 lead. We want to take this opportunity to thank our friends at KFC, Dan and Paul Bogowski, the owners of KFC on the corner of Ford and Harrison. As always, providing crew food for us along with Lona's, but we want to thank them. They've got a new menu there from KFC. They're Garden City born and bred guys and operate their business right here in Garden City, so make sure you check out Dan and Paul Bogowski at KFC, located on the corner of Ford and Harrison. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It'll be Quintana, McIntosh, and Sasala, the batters for Garden City, as you see activity on the boys baseball field.
Thing right now is to one of these bottom hitters to get on base and set the table for Sasala. Speaking about the boys team, did I read today that Mr. Steele, one of the pitchers from the Cougars, has been selected to pitch in the All-Star game this year?
Is it to pitch in the All-Star game or to play in the football All-Star game?
Oh, I didn't. I just saw it All-Star.
I think he's in the football All-Star game. Scott Murray told me. The Senior Bowl or whatever it's called.
He could actually play in either one of them.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in the football All-Star game. Scott Murray told me. He'll be going to Concordia to play football and baseball. There's one way over the head of Quintana.
Garden City's baseball team has had a lot of success in the last few years, too. District champions the last couple years.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always been a monster program, too. Here's a pop-up in the infield, and it's fouling out of play. Boy, when they go up today, I lose them in the sun immediately.
Oh, yeah. You lose them real
Well, that's
quick.
good, because I heard with those new improvements that the dome on this field will take that sun right out of play.
Just get me a helmet. There's one up high.
Here he goes with the rumors again.
2 balls and 2 strikes. How many hefty bags can you sew together, Ted? Thus the Silver Dome was born. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Quintana.
Helped her out on that one. That
was up in her eyes.
Did you notice, Willie? She had to raise her hands to swing at that one. Yeah.
That's a bad sign.
It was up in her eyes.
So McIntosh will come to the plate now. Second baseman flew out to left field, back in the third. Only her second at bat. She pops this one up into the infield. And that one goes fouling out of play.
Were you worrying about cars or something?
No, I'm looking at my truck.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Worried about cars?
Well, I thought Willie
seemed like a good idea when I put it there.
You still got hands, don't you, Willie? I thought
I catch it, man. It comes here.
Hey, I'm on rehab still. You guys got to protect me. Sider to the right-hander comes to the plate. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. Easy play for Klemkowitz. And there's 2 up and 2 away.
You're remarking how quick this game is. Just 1, 2, 3. These innings are quick as heck.
They are.
Yeah, we've not reached the hour mark, and we're in the bottom of the 5th.
Bottom of the 5th, and the sun
is still up. Sasala now at bat. She had a home run over the right fielder's head her first time up, struck out in the third. That one's high.
The first pitch of the game that she saw, she rifled into right field.
Sider rocks and delivers outside. I think with 2 outs, she's not looking to give Sasala anything to hit.
Well, you don't want to get to Lynn's 2 for 2 behind her, so.
Pick your poison?
I mean, the top 4. Take your choice.
Well, this looks pretty intentional to me. Maybe if she goes fishing, that's okay. But unless Sasala helps her out, Sider's not going to show her a strike.
If she swings at this, I think you'll have a news break.
That one's inside, so I believe that's the first walk of the game. And Sasala gets it.
Well, I'll tell you something. I think she made a mistake because I think she's going to get burned by this girl here.
Well, let's see, Lynn 2 for 2.
That walk was a Bob Ufer walk, where he said Veller is the best part of discretion.
Yeah.
Discretion's the best part of Veller.
Yeah.
So Ashley Lynn with a single and a double and a run scored at the plate. And she takes a strike at the knees. Tough pitch to hit. First baseman and the third baseman in front of the bag in case Lynn tries a slap bunt. And there's a strike called right at the belt. So I don't know if Lynn's was looking for something else there.
She's stepped out of the box, and she's down there looking at Barry Patterson's 26-year-old signs.
Runner at first base is Sasala. Here's the pitch. This one is hit into the outfield, left field for a base hit. So Ashley Lynn keeps the inning alive. She has 3 hits. Sasala moves to second base, and that'll bring up Werda.
And this is where Hillary's, she's a clutch player. This young lady likes pressure, and how big would a third run here be?
Huge.
Really huge.
Werda batting .548 coming into this one, and Steve Gentile is going to go out to the mound and have a conversation with Sider.
Gentile realizes that you're at one of those, each baseball game or softball game has a couple, important moments.
Right.
He cannot afford to give up a run here.
Steve, as we mentioned, a graduate from Garden City High School in 1994. He was a catcher for Bob Drop.
I think one of the first games I ever broadcast was he was behind the plate.
Probably. His dad owns Put Me in Coach batting cages at the park. So a Garden City guy through and through. He coached at Madonna for about 10 years.
Coached a few Garden City girls who went there.
There's a bunch of Garden City girls all around the local colleges.
Yeah.
Minch, of course, the most notable at Madonna right now from Garden City.
Karen Greffich just finished a stellar career out at Concordia, Garden City, part of that championship team.
So Sider with 2 on and 2 out, up high on Werda. Sider was not scheduled to be the starting pitcher today. She has lots of innings in as a pitcher.
And this could be a semi-intentional walk here.
Yeah,
to get the Bellavari with the bases loaded, though?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that.
Hasn't done anything.
Yeah, this is an intentional walk right here.
She swung at everything high.
Well, then she's due, right?
Yep.
Well.
Yeah, that's an unintentional, intentional walk right there to Werda.
The real big difference is if Bellavari pops one into the outfield here, she has flown out a couple times. If she can get one on the ground, that's going to be 2 runs.
So Bellavari with a big chance. Bases loaded, 2 down. Bellavari came into this one and hitting .667 with 26 RBIs, so she can do it. And a conversation down at first base between Barry Patterson and Chuck Druitz.
Boy, Druitz has got a long history in softball. He's a good coach. Very knowledgeable, very knowledgeable.
Dedicated, too.
Pardon?
Dedicated.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The only thing I can never found wrong with him is he roots for Wisconsin.
So Bellavari looks at that one. Runner on first base is Werda. The runner on second base is Lynn. The runner on third base is Sasala. Cougars up by 1. Here's a deep fly ball into left field. But Lindsay's going to be there to put it away. So it worked. Bellavari hit it a mile. But with the defensive setup, Lindsay there to put it away. So Garden City threatens, but does not score. No runs for Garden City in the inning. There was 1 hit, a couple of walks. Unintentional, intentional walks for Sider.
It would have been interesting to see if the wind wasn't blowing in, how far that ball would have traveled.
Well, this is a field where you can basically play deep and keep everything in front of you.
Yep.
And you gotta clap and applaud for the way Steve Gentile played that inning.
Sure.
He did a couple things there. Not only did he keep the run from scoring, but he got 2 of the top 4 hitters walked on base. And now, when they come out for the 6th and 7th, you're going to be the end of the batting order.
That's right. Also want to thank Jim Neve and our friends at Incorporate Marketing and Corporate Graphics, located right across the street from Garden City High School. They moved their operations into Garden City here on the Middle Belt Road, and they provide the crew apparel for Omnidish Television and GCTV. So they have the best Cougar wear around. Stop in any day.
That's a
check
name
them out.
Sounds familiar.
Jim Neve?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a 3rd generation Garden Cityer.
Yep.
His dad and grandpa worked for DPS.
Yep.
Dad had Stadium Sports.
Yep.
And that'll bring up Bias. And she looks at one outside from Sasala. (2-1) Garden City on top. Saloom on deck. And there's a ball out. No, a strike call by Shaw.
3-4.
Delayed call there.
3, 4, and 5 this inning. This is a big inning if you can get throughout this inning.
Okay.
Sasala, 2 balls and a strike. Looks at strike 2.
The guy's got the old college call back there, you know.
Little delayed.
Yeah.
He knows he's on television. He just, gets some airtime.
Yeah, he's a Garden City guy, too.
Yep.
Here's a rock in the pitch, 2-2 count. Swing and a miss, very late by Bias.
Oh, she tipped it right
Yes,
into
she
the
did.
glove.
That's
the second one she's caught like that.
I was going to remark that Joseph has done a good job on tip strikes, and she's caught them. So she is an athlete. She's got quick reactions, and that's what you need back there.
So Saloom the batter now.
She might be small, but stature, but man, she can run, I tell you.
She's 0 for 2 here tonight. Flew out to center fielder last time up.
Those bang bang plays at first base, man. She's fast.
Rock and the pitch from Sasala. High and outside. Sasala.
Strike. Got a call. That's good.
That was low. Did he call that on the
call a strike?
Called strike, or did she offer?
Sasala. This one's fouled off.
Looking for his car again.
Sasala comes to the plate. Ball inside. Sasala, 1 out. Here's the pitch. This one's fouled off, and Salam working her.
Just very good at bat. Very good at bat. Just worked her to a full count.
Here's the pitch. Up high, ball 4. So a big walk for Churchill.
One down, and let's see, this is where the strategy, we'll probably see a bunt or a slap bunt here as both teams are playing for that 1 run.
First walk of the game for Sasala. And that'll bring up Sharita. She singled back in the fourth inning, and she hits a fly ball to center field.
Caught.
Center fielder there to put it away. That's Bellivari, and there's 2 out. So Bellivari playing deep in the right spot.
I imagine the rest of this game, both teams are going to say, if you're going to beat us, it's going to be in front of us, not behind.
That's right. That's right.
You know, when you have 300-foot fences in girls softball, it's a lot easier to come in than go out.
Normally you'd see, what, about 220, 215?
220, yeah.
220, 221, whatever it takes. There's a ball outside Sider.
I mean, I don't want to get technical, but I think it's 221 and a quarter.
Oh.
Sider with a single and a run scored back in the second. Here's the pitch. She pops one up deep in the infield. Second baseman back for it, puts it away, and the side is retired. A good job by McIntosh to chase it down, and Garden City puts the threat down. No runs in the inning, no hits, a walk, and 1 runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Garden City on top by a score of 2-1.
This is very interesting inning for Garden City. If they can get that 1 run to give them that 2-run cushion, they'll be all right.
Yeah, they want to put 1 more on the board. This could be their last bats. Hey, we want to thank our friends also at Lonas.
Yes.
Located in Dearborn Heights, but it's the Oliverio family, Bob Oliverio and his family, that have owned Lonas. They're on the Beach Daily and a Ford Road for about 1,000 years, but they're all Garden City folks there. And we want to thank them for also providing crew food for Omni Edition Sports and GCTV. Give them a call at 313-274-0100. It's 313-274-0100. And tell them that Omni Edition Sports and GCTV sent you. They deliver all over Garden City.
Yeah, they make a pretty decent pizza.
They do. It's a good thing since they own a pizza place, huh?
Yeah.
So it'll be Bomarito, Joseph, and Ford for Garden City here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They're holding on to a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I see Churchill's are donning the mask on the infield. Every one of the infielders got a mask on.
They do. I didn't notice that before. And Bomarito looks at a strike. Third baseman Sharita in front of the bag. Second baseman Klemkowitz playing in for the bunt. And Bomarito knocks one down. Right to the second baseman, though, who flips it over to first in plenty of time. And there's 1 up and 1 away. Churchill did not give Garden City much real estate to deal with there in the infield.
Very hard to lay it down when they're that close.
That was very interesting because they had the second baseman playing close.
Rather than the first baseman.
Rather than the first baseman.
Yeah, that's unique. So Joseph, the batter. And she swings late on that one, but
she didn't swing.
No calls. It's called a ball.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she swung at that. But
nope.
Break for Garden
Nope.
City.
She didn't swing.
Because the umpire said no, right?
No, I saw it. She didn't swing.
I thought she did, Willie.
Yeah.
I'm going with Willie.
Here's the rock and the pitch from Sider. There's one on the outside corner for a ball.
Yeah, 2-0, man.
Well, you got to get runners.
Put her on.
Ford's up next. Cougars lead it by a run. Down low, 3-0. Outfielders fairly deep for Joseph.
Well, she's got 4 home runs this year.
She could gap it.
It's a big gap between left and center.
Yep, that's what I said. She could gap it.
And that's ball 4, so a base runner for Garden City. Let's see what they do. Joseph's first time on. Now we may get a courtesy runner here. They're allowed courtesy runners for the catchers, and it has no effect on substitution, so that'll bring in one of a million pummels that have come through the Garden City School District. This is Julene. So she will be the courtesy runner for Joseph. And the batter will be Cassie Ford, and she looks to lay down a bunt, doesn't. off the bag, thrown into the outfield, but Pummel gets tied up with the second baseman who was covering. So Klemkowitz gets tied up with Pummel.
Tied up. She was looked like a WWE put down.
So with the first baseman, Cavanini, coming in, Klemkowitz stuck behind as that one is bunted foul by Ford. With the wheel play on, Klemkowitz comes back to first base.
And they called the right fielder in too. They moved the right fielder in. You don't want her too deep. If it does get a throw gets past that first baseman, the run will be on third.
Here's a rock and a pitch. She lays down a bunt, it goes foul. Both teams have struggled laying down that bunt.
Yep.
Unless it's a slap bunt.
Well, you got all that loose dirt from a home plate, you know. It
And the
doesn't
spin
take
doesn't
much
help.
to
She
spin
shows
it
bunt
off.
even with 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. She pulls it back. Looks at one at her shoelaces and back in time is Pummel barely.
Well, Pummel's, pressing her luck over there. She's trying to get as big a lead as possible.
She should just take off.
On the throw down. Well, nobody's covering second.
That's what I said.
Here's the rock and the pitch. Up high. Hey, the lights are on.
Oh, wow. I mean, come on.
With potentially another half inning to go, the lights are on. Probably about right, though. Here's the rock of the pitch from Sider. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. Big hop. She flips it over to the second baseman for one. They will not get the double play. So Ford is safe at first with 2 out.
The designated player, number 8, Gabby Quintana.
Saloom got the big hop. Ran it part of the way to Klemkowitz, flipped it to her, and by then it was too late to get the relay. And that'll bring up Quintana, the designated player, with a strikeout.
Got to remark again what outstanding defense is being played here.
As Willie is kissing former players as they go by. You don't see that at the boys' game. Hot shot to the shortstop across the infield in plenty of time. Good job by Saloom as Quintana hit it like a rope, but right into the glove of the shortstop who flipped it across to the infield. So it's showtime now, folks. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Garden City up by a score of 2-1.
Yeah, but they got the bottom of the lineup coming up.
Yep, Cavanini, Twig, and Klemkowitz.
Well, the batting of the order has gotten a few hits.
Yeah, I know
there's one hit out of the bottom 3, which was that RBI single. Sasala on the mound for Garden City. As she works for another complete game. She's had plenty of those this year. 9.
It's good.
Yep, Werder with 4 complete games. Werder 5-0 coming into this. Bomarito 2-0, and Gabby Joseph, not Abby Joseph, but Gabby Joseph, 1-0 as a pitcher with a shutout.
Wow.
So they go deep.
Well, Bomarito is actually has transferred into Garden City, I think, from Redford Union. She actually was a starting pitcher, I think, for Redford Union as a freshman. And when she got here, transferred in here, she found herself 2 or 3 deep.
It happens. She's a sophomore, so she probably will get her turn. Sasala whips and pitches. Here's what hit into the outfield. It's a gapper for a base hit. Around first is Cavanini, headed for second. She'll go in with a leadoff double. So Cavanini with a big double for Churchill.
Well, they're not easy.
Right in between Bellavari and Brown. And with Garden City's infield playing in, looking for a slap, she rips it into the gap.
Susala is going to have to bear down here with no outs this time and a runner in scoring position.
Twig the batter. She's 0 for 2. Here's the rock and the pitch. She shows bunt. Swings through it.
By the time that ball gets to home plate, the third baseman and the first baseman are
right there.
Down there shaking hands with the catcher.
Ford at first, Ward at third. Sasala with an 0-1 count on Twig. And she lays down the bunt. Flip to first base is in time, but the runner advances to third. So Cavanini's at third. Twig with the sacrifice.
That play is the right play on both sides. By going to first, you get the out. You don't want to give up outs. But by getting that runner to third, now a pass ball, a balk, almost anything can tie this game up.
They probably weren't going to get Cavanini at third as Barry Patterson comes out to the mound to talk strategy with Sasala and the entire infield. 2-1, Garden City on top. 1 out, runner on third base, top of the 7th, which is the last inning in softball unless we go extras.
What we need right here is a strikeout.
Absolutely. And this is the number 9 hitter.
The strikeout.
Who struck out once.
Well, a bunt here would be huge. I mean, you have the suicide squeeze here. And when you're the traveling team, you're the home team, you're playing for the tie. Right now you are playing for the tie. And that's what Steve Gentile is going to try to do here, and Barry knows that. I mean, when you've played at least 600 games, you know it a little bit.
You may have picked up something along the way.
Better know it.
So the runner on third base is Cavanini. The batter is Klemkowitz. Cougars lead it by 1. 17-game winning streak on the line. First baseman and third baseman coming in tight. There's a line shot. Fair ball. Tie run scores. Cavanini scores. Klemkowitz turns the bag at second. And Klemkowitz, the number 9 hitter, with a clutch double.
She smoked that ball.
And Churchill has tied it up here in the 7th.
Yep, it'll make an interesting bottom of the 7th.
A leadoff double, a sacrifice by Twig, and now Klemkowitz rips an RBI double on the first pitch she sees. And Churchill has tied it up. That'll bring up Rachel Jason. She has a single. 1 for 3. Garden City still in tight. They want to keep that other run from scoring. There's a bunt. Third baseman handles it clean. Throw to first base is in time, but it's a foul ball. Good job by Werda, but it was foul. You can't wait to find out before you execute.
That's right.
Remember, there's only 1 out still here, so that runner going to third once again is very big. You talked about the interesting bottom of the 7th. What Garden City wants to do is make sure it's tied going into the bottom of the 7th.
That's right.
Sasala steps off the mound. Garden City will go 9-1-2 in the 7th. Sasala from the rock pitches. There's a bunt. It's a fair ball. Catcher flips it to first. In time, runner moves to third. So Klemkowitz advances to third on the perfectly executed sacrifice.
Joseph did a nice job getting out from behind the plate and pouncing on that ball.
Young lady has a rifle tied to that,
Boy, I
that
tell
arm.
you.
She gunned it down there.
So there's 2 out. Runner on a third base is Klemkowitz. And Steve Gentilia may be looking to make a change here.
All right, Coach. You want that ball to be thrown around the infield. Do you lay another bunt down here?
With a runner on third?
Why not? There's only 1 out.
Well, you said
2.
you're playing for the tie.
Is there 2 out?
There's 2 outs,
Oh,
2 sacrifices.
Then I wouldn't do it. It'd be a gutsy call, though.
Well, it would. Like you said, you play for the tie.
Some redhead just walked by here and tapped me on the shoulder. Looks a lot like that blonde varsity basketball coach we used to have.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Miss Tyree there.
Oh,
so
yeah?
Jewell, Abby Jewell will pinch hit. If not their best player, one of their best players.
Well, that's why, she was scheduled to pitch.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do is unwalk her.
Well, that's an option.
She's a .306 hitter.
Those hands out.
So Jewel comes in to pinch hit.
We talked about those moments in a game. This is it right here. This is huge.
Yep.
Jewel, the senior.
You know, you start playing t-ball and softball in second, third grade, and this is one of those moments that you prepared for, you know.
Yep.
And this is exactly the kind of game that Coach Patterson wanted tonight. He wants his players to play under pressure, and they haven't had a lot of games, if any, that have been this tight.
Runner out third is Klemkowitz. 2 down, Jewel, the pinch hitter. Sasala looks in, comes to the plate. Swing and a miss, Jewel late on that one. It's her left foot that took a line shot the other day.
That was an awkward swing. It wasn't smooth, it was awkward. And late, I think.
Sasala just throws the heat. No, took a little off that one, but it was outside, 1-1.
I don't know if, to you, Willie, doesn't look like she has any indication she's going to bunt.
No, she hits one into the outfield. Center fielder there in plenty of time, though. Bellavari
got it.
Puts it away, and the side is retired, but not before Churchill ties it up. They score a huge run. 1 run on 2 hits.
Got 9, 1, and 2 coming up.
Well, you wonder if 9 will bat. You know, we haven't seen Barry's bench. She's got a couple seniors that haven't gotten into the game. So let's see what Barry's got up his sleeve.
And I assume Tolles will go back into the game in right field. We'll see.
Yep, she's going to right field.
Well, nope, actually. What are we doing here? It may not be Tolles. I think she just went out to warm up. We'll have to see who they put in right field. There's a bunch of girls playing catch out in right field.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. There's no right fielder yet out there. So for Garden City, it'll be McIntosh if she bats, Sasala and Lynn. 9, 1, and 2. We're tied at 2 here at Garden City High School.
It's going to be interesting.
And Tolles does go back into the outfield for the Chargers.
I don't know if that's McIntosh up there or not.
I believe it is.
Now remember, this is a senior. This is a 4-year. Now her job is to get on base.
Right.
And then
could either get her sacrificed over or whatever.
I'm not sure if you've documented it yet, Willie, but 1 and 2 are good.
Yep.
Well, and McIntosh is a 4. McIntosh is a 4.
600, I guess.
She's a 452 hitter, anyways.
Yeah.
Kind of like your odds on the. They're going to pull everybody in.
Bottom of the 7th, tie game. Outfielders coming in to play a little shallower. Sider, ground ball right back to her. McIntosh hit it hard, but right back to the pitcher. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Sasala, who had a home run back in the first. A home run in the first, a walk in the 5th.
Oh, that left field line looks so inviting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's her area or not. Big gap between left and or between center and right also.
Yep.
For Sasala, who hit a big home run back in the first. Sider pitches down low.
I bet you should go Walker again.
I don't know. I don't know. Do you put the go-ahead run on even if it's a player like Sasala? You got to take your chances and throw a strike.
Your next batter's 3 for 3.
Right. Here's a rock in the pitch. Sasala thought about it, but hitched. 1 and 1.
Well, see, this is what Barry wants these girls to do. He wants these ladies to play under pressure.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball through the hole, base hit. Sasala turns the bag at first, right through the box, and a base hit for Sasala. So a huge base hit for Garden City. The go-ahead run is at first base, and Ashley Lynn will be the batter who's 3 for 3.
Patterson.
Kevin McHugh waving his left fielder in, trying to get all the outfielders to come in.
Now would be a time to put one over the right fielder's head.
Third baseman creeping in along with the first baseman. Lynn with the drag bunt. Right back to the pitcher, though. Throw to first base is high.
Oh!
And she's safe.
Pull her off the bag, man.
So the pitcher commits the error. Sasala moves up to second base. So better than the sacrifice. Garden City still with only 1 out.
Now remember, the last time they did this, they gave that weakly disguised intentionally walk to Hillary Werda.
Yeah, but you don't want to walk her now. You walk the bases loaded.
Yeah, that was with 2 outs.
And there's only 1 out.
Yeah, here, a fly ball. Bellavery hit 3 to the outfield.
Yeah.
So word of the batter. And she looks at 1 outside.
That last throw to first base in the first, second through 6th inning was probably going to be a very easy throw. But with a tied game in the 7th, the jersey gets a little tighter, and that throw becomes a lot harder.
Werda hits one to the outfield. The center fielder, Jason, is there. This will not advance the runners. And there's 2 down. So Werda gets underneath it.
Well, Sam Bellavery, who's looking for a hit tonight.
She's 0 for 3. Everything's been to the outfield. So runner on second base is Sasala. The runner on first is Lynn. Bellavari, the center fielder. 0 for 3. The pitch from Sider. There's a ground ball off of Sider's glove. She's not going to get anybody. Bases loaded. 2 down. The only one that matters is Sasala, who moves to third. Bellavari with an infield single off the glove of the pitcher. Hit it hard. There was no play. And Gentilia will head to the mound.
Looks like a pinch hitter. Looks like Loroff.
LaGraff.
LaGraff.
Tiffany LaGraff.
Hair was in the way.
Jackie LaGraff. So Gentilia goes to the mound.
Folks, just a reminder, there is a concession stand behind home plate on the first base side. And they still have hot dogs and nachos and pop for sale. Also, get your 50-50 tickets.
So the runner on first is Bellavari. The runner on second is Lynn, but the only one that matters is Sasala in this 2-2 game with 2 outs. So a wild pitch. Any kind of a safety, a balk, whatever.
Well, who's up the bat now?
This is, I don't know if this is Bomarito or LaGraff.
I don't know.
Bomarito's left-handed, right?
Yeah.
Number 4.
All right, now it's Jessica Whiter. So Jessica Whiter at bat. Pinch hitting for Bomarito. She swings late on that one.
That was up around her eyes again. I know that rise ball looks so good coming out of the pitcher's hand. Up it goes.
So Whiter swings and misses late. Strike 3, and we go to extra innings.
She never had a chance on that one.
No, she had a chance at all.
Garden City leaves the bases loaded. They get a couple of hits, but they do not score. We go to the 8th. Our score, Garden City 2, Churchill 2. We'll have more right after this. You're watching a Cougar Softball on Omnidition Sports GCTV.
Really?
Buzz.
Judge, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Yeah, salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, sparkles next Sunday.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
It is the 8th inning here at Lighted Field in Garden City. We're tied at 2. The Cougars led 2-1, but Churchill scratched one out. In the 7th to tie it, and this one's fouled away.
3, 4, 5 hitters. This is probably the best hitter on the team right here, batting .383 for the season.
Bias 0 for 3 tonight.
Looks like you got a new left fielder.
We'll have to check. That one's in the dirt.
Hugged the ground almost all the way there.
Wider was the pinch hitter for Bomarito, so that could be her in left. We don't have any way to get corrections. We're in that twilight where the lights haven't really taken over yet, and it's very, very dark. That one is low.
Garden City had the bases loaded twice in the last 3 innings and could not put one across the dish.
Sider with a great job of pitching. Sasala comes to the plate. Ground ball foul. Steve Gentilia. E-coach.
E-coach, that's right.
Bias, Saloom, and Sharita, the scheduled batters here in the 8th. We're tied at 2. Great pitching duel on both sides. Here's a fly ball. And deep, the left fielder chasing, makes the play.
Beautiful play.
I believe that was Pummel. That's Pummel out there. So Pummel on a deep fly ball makes an outstanding play.
I wonder if that ball wasn't foul.
It may have been when she finally wrangled it in. So a great defensive play by Pummel. So Bias is the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Salome. And she looks at a strike.
Now I'm watching the ball go back to the pitcher from Abby Joseph. I'm thinking, that girl's got an arm, maybe she can pitch.
That one's outside, 1-1.
Big first out here in the 8th.
Sasala's gone the distance.
Dom comes up overlooking his team.
That one's outside.
Churchill's been very patient, and they've made Sasala pitch. She's only got, I think, 1 walk, but they've taken a lot of close pitches.
Sasala rocks and pitches. Here's a fly ball into right field. Right fielder there to put it away, and there's 2 up and 2 away.
She didn't get real good aluminum on that.
Aluminum.
I don't know. Do you guys know? Are these the new
the dumbed down bats?
The dumbed down bats.
Absolutely.
This year's the first year in both baseball and softball that they're dumbing down the bat.
Trying to make it a little safer.
The ball is just not going as far as it used to go. There's a
and
Sharita
hit with a great play by McIntosh. Sharita's bid for a base hit is stolen by Caitlin McIntosh. Outstanding play. Nothing across for Churchill in the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 2.
Got to mark the tape on that one, Dan. That should be on one of those Omni Edition highlight things.
That was an outstanding play by McIntosh.
All right, folks,
As you see some of the folks that are part of the crowd out here tonight for this one.
Nice crowd.
Yeah, it
The
is.
number is 834-365. Once again, 834-365.
Got a real nice crowd.
Yeah, this is a huge crowd for a girls' softball game, especially when everybody's got to bring their own chairs.
That's true.
There's a little bit of bleacher seating here, but not very much.
That's behind home. But you got it marked off with yellow tape so they can't sit there.
Yeah, well, we did ruin the best seat in the house, but, you know, that's what happens when TV shows up and screws up everything. Luckily, there were no bleachers there. So scheduled to batter Joseph Ford in Quintana. As we, again, it's a little dark here at Lighted as the lights are on, but until the sun goes down totally, they don't have that effect that you want them to have like you do in an enclosed stadium.
You know, ever since the sun went down, I've noticed that there are a lot of players out there in the infield and outfield.
You can now see the game, you mean?
The monitor's actually working, and if it wasn't for the big purple spots, this would be a great sight.
You're not supposed to look at an eclipse, Ted.
Big purple spots.
So Joseph will lead it off for Garden City. Abby with a walk. She's 0 for 2.
Joseph needs to do something wonderful and get this game going here.
Tied at 2 here in the 8th. Extra innings.
She can do it.
Bonus coverage on Omni Edition Television. She thought about it, but held up. Ball 1.
Good back control.
Definitely.
So Sider has pitched an outstanding game. There's a ground ball to the first baseman. Off her glove into the outfield for a base hit. Klemkowitz couldn't come up with it. Cavanini had trouble with it. And that's a leadoff hit for Garden City.
Leadoff hit?
We're going to
Well,
probably...
it's a leadoff error, but there's a leadoff runner on base.
Yeah, right.
Hey, what? You're the home scorer. Come on,
Hey,
a little leniency.
Yeah, we're supposed to pad those. Why do you think they're hitting 500, Willie?
Right, you can't get them in the Hall of Fame making scoring things like that.
I mean, that could have been 2 errors.
We're going to get a pinch runner here for the catcher.
Pummel had run for her before. This is the courtesy runner, so this is Spellman.
Known around the school as Little Rachel.
So Spellman will be the runner at first base. Ford the batter. Sider rocks and pitches. Shows a bunt, bunts it foul.
Now she might as well just walk up to the plate and announce, "I'm going to bunt." The first baseman and the third baseman are no more than 30 feet away from. Let's see where does the shortstop go to second, or is they going to concede second?
Well, let's see. Bunt's laid down. Shortstop does go the second. Throw to first base is in time, and Cassie Ford successfully lays down a sacrifice bunt. Sharita fires it across the infield to get out number 1, and Spellman moves to second base.
All right, Coach Willie Sandman.
Yep.
Swinging away or moving into third? What are we doing here, Coach?
I would say swing away.
Still a 455 hitter, whether she's the 8 hitter or not. This is Quintana.
Oh, Quintana's up.
And she looks at ball 1.
Be interesting. I think I would swing away.
I want to tell you that I'm very impressed with the Churchill pitching tonight. Very impressed.
Absolutely. Sider with just an outstanding game. She gave up that home run as this one is popped up in the infield. The third baseman comes in and makes the play. And now there's 2 away. You know, after that home run by Sasala, you thought, uh-oh, here we go. But
Yeah,
Garden City only able to scratch out 1 more run.
Yeah. I thought, man, the way this lineup stat-wise looks, it's going to go killing people.
So McIntosh, the batter, she's 0 for 3, the number 9 hitter. Sider rocks and pitches. McIntosh, ground ball to the shortstop. Throw across the infield is in time. We go to the 9th.
The only thing about it is Garden City will have the top of their order coming up.
All right.
Now what they'll have to do is shut them down, don't allow a run, come in and get a run.
No hits for Garden City. A runner safe on an error who got to second base, but nothing across. They leave a runner on base. We go to the 9th. We're tied at 2. You're watching Cougar Softball on Omni Edition Sports, GCTV.
The 9/11 Memorial is for my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
And for my brother.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
And that we are strong.
It's for the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. To learn more or to reserve your visit, go to 911memorial.org.
Top of the 9th inning here at Garden City High School. The Garden City Cougars and the Churchill Chargers tied at 2. Churchill scored a run in the top of the 7th inning to tie it. And that'll bring up Missy Sider, who has had an outstanding day on the mound. And a single and a run scored. And she looks at one outside.
A little change of pace to start her off.
Sider's only allowed 5 hits today to Garden City. This monster Garden City lineup. And she rips one into center field. And a leadoff single for Churchill.
Chargers have really had some great cuts today, and they can hit 1 through 9.
Number 1, Julia Cavanini.
For the record, my book only goes up to 9 innings, so
yeah.
This could turn ugly. So McGowan will pinch run now.
I think games have been called for. I think games have been called for that. On the, can't keep score past the 9th.
Yeah,
really, they called the game.
Call it because of darkness.
Yeah. Boy, I remember a game, and I don't remember who the pitcher was from Livonia Franklin, that outstanding pitcher back in the 80s.
It was,
is that right? Was that her in the 80s? No, Letka, Tracy Letka.
Letka.
And they had a 17 or 18 inning game here.
18 inning game.
And, of course, the men's softball was backed up 3 hours ready to play.
18 innings.
Yeah. Was that Malone for us?
Malone for us, and girl hit one. Karen picked it up in the left field, fired it home, a strike. Burton had the ball, tagged her out, and dropped it. They won the game 2-1.
Franklin did, yeah.
Yep.
There's one fouled off. Oh, Chris Carrico, did he catch it? He caught it. Carrico, the cameraman behind home plate, caught it and threw it back in. There you go, Chris Carrico. You're a rock star. Come on, wave at least. There you go. Good job. Cavanini, the batter. Pop up in the infield. Second baseman has a little trouble with it, but McIntosh pulls it in.
No, that was
one
easy.
away.
Another 15 minutes, and it's going to get so terrible out here to see the ball.
I think it'll get better in about 15 minutes because it'll get dark enough.
No, it'll be just, I know, man, from last week when we played softball. This time of night, jeez.
All right, so Twig, the batter. First baseman creeping in. This one's fouled off. Cassie Ford sneaking in at first. Word is sneaking in at third.
This is a classic. Instant Omni Edition Sports Classic will be on all weekend.
2 balls, or rather 2-2 is our score. And she lays down the bunt. Sasala flips it to first. In time, McIntosh holds on to it. McHugh wants a juggle call. Doesn't get it.
Well, she did what she needed to. It got in the glove, and I don't know if she juggled it, but she came up with it and showed it to him. And as soon as she showed it to him, the umpire made the call, and that could have bounced 2 or 3 times in her glove, but as soon as she brought it up, there was an out.
So that'll bring up Klimkowitz. She's 1 for 3. We've got 2 outs and the go-ahead run on second. Klimkowitz looks at one inside. Dan York along with Willie Sandman and Ted Fournier. Cougar softball.
Okay, here we go.
Swing and a miss, a high pitch from Sasala.
That was a no-rise ball. That was just a high fastball.
You remember the batter's got to go up there, and Sasala's got 6 different pitches in her arsenal. So you just got to guess right.
You timed nice screwball.
Check swing, she went through.
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Klimkowitz.
Now you can't let up. You got to bear down. You can't. I mean, sometimes a pitcher will get 2 on them.
Yep.
And let up a little bit. You cannot do that.
Bear down.
I think that's a problem with Sasala. Oh, she threw it in the dirt.
It bounced though. It bounced and hit her, but
good job by the catcher.
It was
Joseph.
It was a lead changeup.
You've got to be really impressed with the job that freshman's doing behind the plate.
Oh yeah, excellent.
Ball up high, full count now. She's worked her to a full count.
I think somebody texted somebody in Livonia and said, hey, we got a game over here and half the city's come out here. I hope they're buying hot dogs.
Here's the pitch. Fouled off.
Oh, that was, I can't do anything with that pitch. She tied her up.
Best thing she could do is waste it.
Yeah. That's actually
That's the first one that she's missed.
Oh, that was off the mask, yeah. Sasala, full count, 2 out. Top of the 9th, tied at 2, runner on second base. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop, comes across the infield in time!
Oh.
Cassie Ford with the stretch. And Garden City and Sasala pitch out of a jam again, and Willie Sandman's not so sure.
Well, neither of the any of the coaches from Churchill sure either, as they were both.
That ball come up her arm, came right up her arm.
So nothing across for Churchill. They get a runner as far as second base. We go to the bottom of the 9th. We are tied at 2. Sasala, Lynn, and Werda. The top of the Garden City order and the best hitters they have.
Somewhere in Livonia, that play is going to be discussed all weekend.
For sure.
That was close. Bang, bang.
It was bang, bang.
But once again, she caught the ball and came up and showed it. So, I mean, you know, well, you know, it's pretty darn close to that.
Come up and showed it?
She came up with it.
Okay.
Willie, we're glad you could come out tonight, but if you keep arguing with us.
No.
Leading off the bottom of the 9th inning for your Garden City Cougars, the pitcher, number 9, Kelsey Susala.
All right, so Sasala, Lynn, and Werda.
A long, long time ago, Susala took the first pitch that she saw in this game and blistered it out in right field. And since our replay isn't working tonight, we'd like to see her do it again.
There you go. The top 3 hitters on this Cougar lineup, 700, 500, and 548.
Susala.
She has 2 hits tonight. Been on base 3 times.
Big 10-pound hitter.
Sider comes to the plate. Sasala smokes this one into center field. Over the center fielder's head. Sasala turns it back at second. Heads for third. We'll see if she's going to hold her. Barry will hold her at third. A triple for Sasala.
She was thinking home run all the way.
She smokes it between the left fielder and the center fielder.
As soon as it left the bat, Coach L over here at first base, he was thinking 4. He was thinking 4. Now we have Lynn up, and Lynn's what, 3 for 4 tonight, or?
She is 3 for 4, safe on an error. She's been on base all 4 times. Ducks on the pond, as they say. Now, if you're Gentilia, do you walk Lynn and Werda?
That's a thought, but nobody's out.
Yeah, but now you pick up a force at every base.
Yeah, that's true.
The runner at third is the only one that matters, and you go around Lynn and Werda. I walk them, I'll tell you that. I don't pitch to them.
Well, they
like Madden did Cabrera last
think
year.
about it. If you look at the who's going to be up, Bellavari has yet to get on base tonight. She was safe on an infield hit or an infield error.
Yeah, she had an infield hit. The one that went off the pitcher's glove.
So I think you got to walk them. I think you got to walk them.
Yeah, and I think that's why Gentilia went out there to make sure that was clear.
Yeah, but a wild pitch.
Well, that's maybe why the intentional pass rather than a.
Well, if you get a bases loaded and get the ball on the ground, get a bunt on the ground, you got to walk. You got to put the force on.
So Lynn, the batter, 3 for 4, and she looks at one up high.
Oh, everybody's moving on that one.
Shortstop moving to third. Third baseman charging in. First baseman charging in. That's outside. Again, the shortstop racing to third in case there's a cover play there. Sharita coming home, but Lynn has not shown bunt yet, or slap either. There's a knuckleball, foul ball.
Well, all you want her to do is make contact with the ball. If she can drive it to the right side or deep shortstop, the game's over. So you're not, just make contact here.
All Bellavari's got to do is get it out of the infield. This game's over.
It's Lynn.
Or Lynn, rather.
That's all right.
Bellavari doesn't.
Get Bellavari on the mind.
Bellavari doesn't want to bat this.
That's right. Lynn, another one of those inside-out swings goes foul.
If you watch the first couple pitches, Sider's going outside, and Lynn's going with the pitch. She's not trying to pull it. She's just trying to make contact and go with the pitch. So this is a good job of hitting on those last 2.
Sasala, the runner at third. She's there with a triple after she let it off. Sider on the mound. Pitch to Lynn. Lynn going with the pitch.
Scattered the fans.
Now what you do if you're Sider, you hit her on the hands.
Got to bust her in if you're the pitcher.
You got to bust her inside because she's going with that outside pitch.
Ashley Lynn, 3 for 4, on base 4 times, safe on an error in the 7th. Sider rocks, pitches. Pops it up in the infield. Salome there, and there's one away. Good job of pitching by Sider to not give Lynn anything she could handle.
Very good job. Couple of the previous innings, Sider has actually been hitting the Cougar batters right above the fist, and they've she's jammed them 2 or 3 times. So there's another good job of pitching.
Yep.
That'll bring up Werda. Had a single in the 3rd, walked in the 5th.
She's going to get hit.
Safe on a fielder's choice back in the 1st. Here's the pitch. Werda looks at one up high. She may not see a strike.
I think that, once again, I think you're going outside.
Cavanini trying to shake her hand. This was up high.
This
may be to cover in case of a wild pitch right here.
They're walking her.
That's what the first baseman and the third baseman are doing there.
Yeah, she's not going to see a strike.
Yep. So she's going to get the intentional pass.
Then you might walk Bellavari, and you get to the 5th hitter.
There's ball 4. And Bellaveri comes to the plate with a runner on first and third, but again, the only one that matters is Sasala at third. 2-2 our game here in the 9th.
And Dan, you're right.
Number 20, Sam Bellaveri.
Also something I like to hear, Ted, so good, thank you.
I didn't know what I said, I just read the script here.
You just passed out for a minute? It's a beautiful night here at Garden City High School.
See what you've been missing? The Dan and Ted comedy.
Don't give us any free airtime. So the umpire from behind home plate comes out and breaks up the confab.
This is the way this game should be played. It's every pitch.
Yep,
This is like an NHL playoff game.
This is going to be a walk. She's going to get touch and walk.
I don't know, Willie. Let's see.
She's going to be. I'm telling you. Look at where first base was playing.
Well, you're right. I mean, that's where they're playing. So they're trying to set up the force. That's the indication, Willie. You are right. And the catcher's not even sitting down. So this is going to be an intentional pass. So Bellaveri will go to first and Werda will go to second, and there will be one out.
The wheels are turning.
And again, the reason that the third baseman and the first baseman are playing so close is in case the ball gets past bias, they want to be able to get in and take a throw. There's ball 3. And Werda walked down to second base already. Either she thought it was ball 4 or just decided she didn't want to wait. Thought she'd beat the Christmas rush. So Bellaveri is walked. Willie Sandman is correct.
Yeah.
And that brings up Bomarito. This may be a pinch hitter.
One out.
One down.
All right.
And we have the disadvantage of not having a camera on the third base side tonight, so we don't see the backs. This is a pinch hitter, I believe, and it may be Heather Cheedy. This may be the senior, Heather Cheedy.
Let me tell you about Heather Cheedy. This lady's got ice water running in her veins. Twice this year on the basketball court, she hit a shot with less than 10 seconds to go to win, and both times it was against Thurston.
And one of those was from almost mid-court.
She had a three-pointer at the buzzer. Heather's a senior.
Bases loaded, Cheedy pinch hitting for Bomarito. Sasala, the runner at third base. She's the winning run. Cheedy looks at one up high. Ball 1.
That'd be all right, a walk. I'll take it.
Well, you got to remember, Sider has thrown intentional walks to Werder and Bellaveri. Now she's got to find her arm groove again, her arm spot. And there she did, strike 1, 1-1.
It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you.
One out.
Heather Cheedy swings and misses.
She swung underneath that one.
Yeah,
1 and
that
2.
was a ball. That was a ball.
She figured she was going to get a pitch to hit there, and she was prepared to swing. Whoa, Sider just missed with that one, 2 and 2. Talk about ice water in your veins. Oh, man. Cheedy pinch hitting for Bomarito. The rock, the pitch. Fouled off. Good job by Cheedy to protect the plate. Huge crowd that has actually gotten bigger as the night has gone on.
Aren't they supposed to have men's softball here
Apparently,
tonight?
no, not tonight. Apparently they turned off cable TV and everyone's come out to watch this. Sider pitches. Strike 3.
Stood there like a house beside the road.
All right, so this brings up Abby Joseph.
Now this is going to be their heroine of the night.
Your freshman, who's 0 for 4 tonight. Pops went up over the first baseman's head. The second baseman there to put it away. And the side is retired, and we go to the 10th.
Barry's probably thinking to himself, I should have let Sasala go home. You know? He stopped her at third. He should have let her go home.
Well, you figure with nobody out, you think she's going to score. You figure you're going to score.
Yeah,
well, the Garden City Cougars load the bases, get a runner as far as third base with 1 out. And they are no out, and they do not score. We go to the 10th. We're tied at 2. We'll take a break. You're watching Cougar Softball on Omnidition Sports. This is GCTV.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
It is the top of the 10th inning. Garden City and Churchill tied at 2 here at Lighted Field. Garden City, Sasala with a triple in the bottom of the 9th to lead off the inning, but she did not score. Great job by Sider to shut her down. And what a play by the shortstop.
Whoa, wow. That was a play.
Good
Ashley Lynn over the shoulder catch. Wow.
Willie Mays Lynn with a great catch out there.
That'll bring up Tolles.
Say hey, kid.
Well, I thought that was in the gap. Tolles, the right fielder. She lays down a bunt, and Werda with a diving catch.
Oh, man.
2 web gems in a row.
Fantastic. That was fantastic.
The catcher, number 4, Casey Byers.
So that'll bring up Bias, the catcher. She is 0 for 4. 2 amazing defensive plays for Garden City here in the 10th.
There's the ball player. She got her uniform.
Yeah, that black uniform
might
show a little bit of this slag, huh?
That's a ball player there, man.
Sasala comes to the plate. Pop up in the infield. The second baseman, McIntosh, is there. And a very quick 1, 2, 3
was that
inning.
Was that 3 pitches?
Wow, it was.
3 pitches.
3 pitches, 3
outs.
3
pitches, 3 outs.
I believe that's economical. Ford, Quintana, and McIntosh, the scheduled batters for Garden City here in the bottom of the 10th inning as they try to end this one.
A couple of innings ago, our director sarcastically said something about the 9th inning.
Sarcastically. The score sheet just run out.
Well, we got to rent these lifts and everything. We want to get our money's worth.
You know, you brought something up, Dan. In retrospect, you know, when we see the replay of that triple that Susala hit, you don't want to make the first or third out at third, but you don't mind making it at home. You know, yeah, because it would have taken 2 good throws to get her at home, and Susala is very quick. But I think Barry, you know, he didn't.
Well, again, with nobody out, I'm going to take my chances with the players that were coming up, Lynn and Werda.
Yeah, but.
Well, both teams have played a wonderful defense. We've had some timely hitting, but we've had some great clutch pitching. And you know who have done a great job tonight? Is both coaches.
Yeah.
They have been coaching their tuchuses off.
Yeah, Gentile has pushed all the right buttons.
There's There's a new camper that Dad has bought.
And apparently it's good for leaning on. So it'll be Ford, Quintana, and McIntosh. 7, 8, and 9 for Garden City.
They need a runner.
No hits out of this group yet, and that's ball 1. Nothing out of the bottom of the order for Garden City yet. Yet. Well, as the game goes on, the players get a little tired. There's ball 2.
You know, I don't think these teams are lined up to meet each other in the district, and they go opposite directions in the regional. If these two teams meet again in the playoffs, it'd probably be the quarterfinals.
Yeah, Garden City's district is the Franklin district. The Cougars have RU as a strike called there. The Cougars play RU on that Saturday, and then Stevenson and Franklin play in a rat tail to decide who plays Thurston. So no, Churchill is not in that region, or not in that district. Here's the rock and the pitch. She lays down a bunt. Third baseman in time. Good defensive play by the Chargers. Good job. Good idea by Cassie Ford. Try to catch the defense off guard. Good job by the second baseman to cover. And that'll bring up Quintana. Couple of ground balls to shortstop, a strikeout. And there's one up the middle for a base hit right through the box. So Quintana gets her first single of the afternoon and evening. And that'll bring up McIntosh.
One down.
The second baseman, number 2, Caitlin McIntosh.
Churchill have to keep an eye on her.
I would write down sacrifice 5-4 right here.
Well, let's see. I think we're going to get a pinch runner. I think.
Well, what you got to do is you got to get this runner to second.
By hook or crook.
And then you got your 700 hitter up.
So here comes your runner. And this is Spellman again.
How many times can she pinch run?
Oh, she can pinch run
5 times? 6 times?
As many as she wants to.
I don't know how it works for pinch running.
And the way this game's going, it'll probably be 12.
Yeah, it could be 12 or 14. See here at midnight. You're in the top of the 24th inning.
Gonna have to put some quarters in the lights.
Well, the concession stand just announced that they'll be selling breakfast sausages in about a half.
So the runner on first base is Spellman, pinch running for Quintana.
Here we go.
McIntosh, the batter. Barry Patterson coming in to have a word. Make sure that McIntosh is paying attention.
Don't. These girls are expecting a bunt, a chingo bunt. I'll be surprised.
Here's the rock and the pitch. And that's a strike called.
But just have Dan look over and steal Barry's signals over there.
Sider. Looks into her catcher bias. Here's the pitch. Down low.
I think Steve Gentile knows the signals too. He doesn't even have his first and third baseman coming in.
Well, there was no indication as there's a ball called. There was no indication at all from McIntosh prior to that she might lay one down. It's 3 balls and a strike on McIntosh. And she rips one at the second baseman, makes a great play on.
Oh, man.
Nice job by McIntosh, and a better job by Klemkowitz to make the play.
Guess who's up?
So Kelsey Sasala, the batter. One of those triples would come in handy right here. Spellman, the runner at first base, 2 away.
She gonna walk her?
Oh, why
I don't think you want to advance the runner to second base, do you? because, I mean, Lynn and Werda. Here's a fly ball to center field, and Jason should be able to put this away. It's the left fielder, Lindsay, who's playing all the way over to center field. And she makes the catch, and the side is retired, and we go to the 11th, boys. 2-2.
He's got, how do I do this now? Let's see.
We'll be writing on the backs of napkins and menus and ATM receipts.
It could very well be.
All right, we're headed to the 11th inning, so by FCC law, we must take a break. Our score is 2-2. You're watching Cougar Softball on Omnidition Sports. This is GCTV.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
That's low. That's low. Look, he's blushing. Seriously.
They're gonna fool around and get into my Tiger game.
All right, it is the 11th inning, and Churchill ready to come to bat. Saloom, Sharita, and a Sider are the scheduled batters for Churchill. Again, 7 innings is the norm in high school, so we're into the 11th.
I was just wondering, Dan, is this the first twilight doubleheader that you how many additional stuff?
Exactly.
Oh, they're going international rules now.
That's right.
International rules.
Oh, we do that. I didn't know they really did that.
Yep.
All right, help me explain that, guys. So what happens in the 11th is they put a runner on second base, which is probably the last out.
Last out.
That's probably bias, I assume. Yep. It is. So you start with a runner on second base now. I did not know they did that in high school. And here's a pop-up in the infield. The shortstop, Ashley Lynn, calls for it. She fought with it the entire way, but she made the catch.
Well, I tell you, that gives you heart trouble when you see your infielder doing that.
Well, you've seen some outstanding fielding plays and then a simple little pop like that.
Well, that wasn't that simple. Keep in mind, they don't play night games, so watching a ball go up in the lights and come down, that's a little bit of a challenge.
Mr. Lenient, that's what's
So the runner on second is Bias, and that'll bring up Sharita. So again, Bias placed there, and there's a bunt that's going to go foul. Bias placed there by MHSAA rules, or FAA, or FCC, or I don't know, FDIC.
I was surprised that they. Now, did 2 years ago when we went to 14 innings, did they did
I don't know.
that?
Not in the States. They probably don't do it in a state championship game. Sharita lays down the bunt. Sasala, plenty of time. Runner moves to third base, though.
Sorry.
No, it's 2 outs.
2 outs.
And that'll bring up Sider, number 12. She has a single and a run scored.
You can't say enough about how this young lady has pitched tonight.
Oh, just outstanding.
She has been in hot water 3 or 4 innings, runners at the scoring position, and just pitched her way out of it.
And she looks at a ball outside from Kelsey Sasala. Michigan bound. Last year's most valuable player. Great hitter and pitcher. Swing and a miss by Sider.
She'll have her picture up there in the Garden City Hall of Fame before when it's all said and done.
Yep, she should have.
Among some outstanding athletes that have their photograph in the Garden City
She was
Hall.
already All-State last season. This one is hit into the outfield, and this is going to break the tie.
This is going to be a home run.
Bellavari chases it down, gets it into the infield, so an RBI double by Sider.
Bellavari was playing on the right field side of center field, and that was hit to the left field side, and I guess they didn't think she could pull it.
Surprise.
So Bias scores. Again, she was placed at second base because we were in the 11th inning. McGowan will go out and run now for Sider. Again, you get a courtesy runner for your pitchers.
Garden City will have Susala at second base and Lynn.
Yeah.
Not a bad deal.
Lynn at bat.
Not a bad deal.
Lynn at that, followed by Werda.
1 to tie, 2 to win at least. We have 2 out here in the 11th inning. Susala comes to the plate inside on Cavanini. Cavanini with a single and an RBI back in the second, a double and a run scored in the 7th. Susala from the rock pitches up high. 3-2 Churchill on top here in the 11th. Strike called at the knees. Cavanini kind of shrugged her shoulders. She didn't like the call.
I tell you, these umps made some pretty decent calls.
Actually, they've had a pretty good afternoon, pretty good evening.
Yep.
Here's the pitch. This one's hit into the outfield. And this is going to get over the left fielder's head. Hummel out there for Garden City. Another run will score. Throw comes into third base is late. So Cavanini with an RBI triple. That one gets over the head of Pummel. McGowan scores.
It's unreal, but the way they got the outfield playing, I'd rather be coming in on the ball than going pacing over my head.
Well, you're dealing with a number 7 hitter, so
yeah,
I mean that's
number
hit
7
the ball
hitter.
a long way.
Well, this lineup, if you these 1 through 9 is hit.
Yeah,
they've got. I haven't figured out the amount of hits they've had, but they've all hit.
And here's one into center field, but Bellavari is there to put it away for Garden City. So the Cougars need 2 to tie.
3 to win.
As Churchill has taken a 4-2 lead. They score 2 runs in the inning on a couple of hits.
Yeah, international rules are something else. Put that runner out there.
Well, I mean, in high school ball, it's the 11th inning. You got to do something.
Oh, yeah?
You do. So that means Susala will go to second base.
I played on
well,
softball
would you put
teams.
Susala out there, or would you actually put a pinch runner?
I don't know what your choices are.
I know in our league that they go to international
with a bat?
rules.
She made the last out that lady.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, she's going to go on second base.
She's got a helmet, yeah.
Oh.
So Susala will go to second base.
She's sitting with a bat over there, isn't she? Oh, okay.
So that's Lynn in the batter's box. Werda on deck. Garden City needs 2 here. Outstanding game here on Friday Night Lights.
Now they are the Friday Night Lights.
Now they are Friday Night Lights. See, that's why they had to play this late.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Had to get their money's worth on these
that's
lights.
true, that's true.
So Lynn the batter, she's been on base 4 times with 3 hits tonight.
It's just truly amazing how artfully Steve Gentile has gone through the top of the lineup, or especially the last 4 or 5 innings. When this top of the lineup gets up there, he hasn't given away anything.
So Churchill pulling their left fielder in onto the dirt. The right fielder still on the grass. McHugh wants her to come in too.
Well, remember the last at-bat for Lynn, she went to the left field 4 or 5 times in a row.
She fouls that one off. Sider on the mound, she's gone the distance. Something you wouldn't see in baseball or certainly at the major league level, a pitcher go the distance for an 11-inning game, but the motion is not such that it causes arm damage. She see that one fouled off. Eventually the girls get tired.
Yeah, they get tired.
But it's not an arm issue.
But the arm issue,
once again, she jammed Lynn on that one.
You get these girls that play in College World Series or whatever they call it, and shoot, man, they go the whole weekend pitching.
Yep, pitch 3 games in one day.
Yeah.
There's one outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ashley Lynn. She's the shortstop. She fouls that one off, keeps herself alive. Umpire looking for softballs to come back into play since the last 4 have gone over the screen.
Garden City has really, if you go through the lineup, has really not had a whole lot of great swings at us. Sasala has a couple, but a lot of these have just been jammed and off the,
No,
the
Sider's done an outstanding job. And there's strike 3.
Ooh, good there.
Pitch you at least need to foul off. You might not be able to handle it, but you have to waste it, and there's 1 away.
Never know. She could have got a hit.
Garden City with a 17-game winning streak on the line. And there's a ball. Runner on second base is Sasala. She's placed there at the beginning of the inning here in the 11th. Here's a jam job that the shortstop goes back on and makes the play. Solemn, nice job.
Yep. Pitcher did a nice job on that.
And this brings up Bellavari. She walked her last time up. Garden City's last hope. They're down to their last out. Four to 2, Churchill on top. That's off the catcher's mitt. Sasala goes back to second base. We definitely don't want to make the last out at third and be thrown out. Cheedy pinch hit for Bomarito last inning. Bellavari at the plate. And although that one missed, Sider has not lost any speed on her fastball.
No, she's pitching an excellent game. So is Sasala for that, but
no, they're both pitching an outstanding game. Bellavari looks at a strike.
It's up to you.
2 down. Bottom of the 11th. The pitch from Sider. Whoa, she was way ahead of that one.
Whoa. Glad I didn't park over
Hit that into the parking lot down the third base line.
I parked in the school lot.
Man, did she turn on that.
Man.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cougars trail by 2.
This is a bunch.
There's a changeup she doesn't bite. Sider with an eephus pitch almost. Doesn't get Bellavari to bite.
Release a little too high.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the ball game. And Churchill comes from behind to post a 4-2 win here at Garden City. They break Garden City's 17-game winning streak, and they improved their record to 11-7 on the season. Garden City falls to 18-2, and gentlemen, what a great softball game.
Oh, that was an excellent game. Pitchers were super. I mean, just excellent fielding plays, but all in all, when it came crunch time, Churchill did the crunching, and poor Garden City's walking off the field.
And like you said, Ted, this was to get Garden City ready for some better competition, and it certainly did that.
Well, first of all, this game's a classic, and this game will be discussed years from now in cafeterias and suds areas. This is a classic game that you're not going to forget. 2 points. Barry wanted to see his team under pressure. He got everything he wanted today in a classic game. And the last point, when you win 17 games, you sometimes can't coach your team because they think they're good, you know? So what Barry got out of this was a lot of pressure, and now Monday, probably tomorrow, he'll have them in here, and they'll be listening to him at the end of the season and getting ready for the playoffs. So it's going to be a coachable moment and a coachable weekend this weekend.
Kelsey Sasala, the losing pitcher for Garden City. Missy Sider, the winning pitcher for Churchill. But an outstanding effort by both of these young ladies here this evening, and that's the second loss only of the season for Sasala. So that's going to wrap it up from Garden City High School. I want to take this time to thank again all of the volunteers who worked very diligently on this broadcast. Rob Rancor, Chris Carrico, and Jared Siegman, along with Brian Bykowitz. And special thanks again to Jason Merrow and Christian Gibbons for helping to produce today's game and putting together all of our broadcast equipment. Again, the final from a lighted field in Garden City. Churchill 4, Garden City 2. Thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.